Welcome back to our mission to Mars on Farming Simulator 22, episode 4, with me, Mr. Sealy P. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here on the colony. As you've seen, I did do another load of tree. I'm having some very strange happenings with the tree planting. You know, in the previous episode, I had the pallet that I'd loaded them all on, and then when I came to collect it, one of the pallets was on the floor. So I reset the actual planter itself, came back, pallet went on, no problem at all. And here's the weird thing: it did the same thing again. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to take it off. It was still showing 916 on where it worked out at. No, not 916, 948. 3 lots of 316. So I'll take it, I'll put them all in the ground and we'll see what happens. So they're all set off at the same time. They're all planting 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, bomb, bomb, bomb. I get through, the 2 outside ones finish planting. The inner one, or it depends which way you look at it, it's because of the way I was driving around the side of the rock face, still had a load on it. I thought that makes no sense because they've been all planting as they should have been. So anyway, put them all out. I then went to the top of the hill, and the 2 pallets of 20 that were up there, so another 40 on top of that, I've also put into the ground. Came back down, and the pallet that had come off of the planter was still sat here. And still, when it's hooked up, saying 316. So although I planted them all, it's still here. I don't know, it's very odd, and I don't know why it did, considering they were all planting at the same time right from when I turned them all on, why 2 of them planted fine. And I did wonder, I thought, well, maybe it's 316 that's on this pallet down here. But it wasn't 316, I think I got down to 150 something. And that's what was left on. Anyway, weird, don't know why, it just is what it is. So, what are we doing? Planting, seeding, distributing, sowing, however you want to refer to it, broadcasting. We're going to be doing some of that. I still haven't decided on my 6 definitive crops, so we are going to put some crops in the ground. Some to allow for feeding of animals, some to allow for maybe starting off the crops I want to do. Next month we'll get some attachments for our electric telehandler. Thank you to everyone who's been reaching out. People have been, people are really, what's the best way of putting this? Into the specifics, let's just say that. We have had some seed shipped, and the seed is in our tanks already. We've got some regular seed and we've got some special seed. For our grassing, we've got some special seed, and it's from Tom's AstroTurf. Thank you, Tom. So once it's put down, it provides a much stronger, like AstroTurf would be, a better quality grass seed, let's say, but also AstroTurf. So Tom's AstroTurf, the episode is sponsored by that today. So I'm going to go off, I'm going to put some seed in this. I'm going to start off with, barley. Oats. I'm going to go sensibly, and I'm going to go with wheat straight off the bat. I think we're going to do wheat in the first field, and then we're going to mix things up, and then I'm going to hopefully get on to doing some broadcasting. This one, that's the thing I didn't say, finishing off the fields. We come back to here, click across. So, liming is all done on these. Fertilising, I didn't do the liming on the grass fields. What I have done, as you can see, because I put lime down, it changed the ground state. So I was able to then go over with my second pass, or third pass technically, of fertiliser, to fertilise the outer sections that weren't done. So all of my main fields are double fertilised. We are good to go with those. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We'll whiz over to the seed tanks. We've got the Karma 16s. We might need to get some more, which again, that's absolutely fine. So I think I think this one will do wheat, because it's a bigger one than that one. Well, no, they're all three, aren't they? I was in blocks of three, didn't I? It's just that's an L-shaped one over there. And then the broadcasting. The problem we've got with the broadcaster is that it's a much smaller tank, so it's going to be a lot of backwards and forwards. I need to go around and collect up all of the rocks that we moved off of fields as well. Get those sorted out. I think we've got enough oomph to pull this with this. That cheese that I tried to pick up at the end of the last episode, it's not coming up with any logo. Hang on a minute. That's not, is it? I suddenly thought, was that there before? Am I losing my mind here? Maybe. So my Karmas are over here. Let's open the tanks up. I'm thinking, I don't know whether to put a root crop in or not. I'm just thinking of the equipment we can use for harvesting. And we do have a few different options. But without it taking forever. Where's the... I had this before. There we go. So, I think I'm going to swing round. And let's get this going. I was asked by James. James messaged me. I haven't been saying the percentage. Answer as a percentage for a while, and he's right. I haven't been. I think because there's been so much going on. Because Miss Silly P wasn't well, and I was sort of looking after her, and then my eye problem, and you know, it's on the mend. It's getting better. It's taken quite a while, a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Let's turn that on. Fan on. Let's get that in the ground. So, answer percentage today. I reckon I'm up around 80%. I reckon today. I think so. I hope everyone's feeling okay. Everyone's doing okay. I'm recording this. This is Saturday morning. I was lucky enough last night. You probably know from when I put up my little YouTube short a while back. I've been a big Ghostbusters fan. I'm a fan of film generally. You know, movies, film. I collect things. If you've seen my man cave tours, I've got an Aliens pulse rifle. I've got Stormtrooper stuff. I've got Star Wars gear. I've got all sorts of stuff. I collect things. You know, that's what I do. So I've got my proton pack and my goggles from Ghostbusters. Anyway, I got my wife and my son and one of my twins to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife a few weekends ago. I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. And they all said they really enjoyed it, but my daughter that watched it with us really enjoyed it. And so when the new one comes out, we'll go to the cinema and watch it. Now I had in my head, because my kids go to the cinema quite a lot. You know, they're all adults now. They all go off to the cinema and they watch various different things. I thought we would all go. It'd be kind of, we'll go to the cinema. But nobody else was really interested. So she took me. We went to the cinema last night to see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Oh, I loved it. What a film. If you like the Ghostbusters franchise, if you watched the original, what I love and what they've done very cleverly in all of the Ghostbusters films, they've done a lot of nods to the original film, and well, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and then there was obviously the big gap. What I liked about Ghostbusters Afterlife was it did the explanation of why, it explained the gap, the 30 years between the Ghostbusters films, and then But then also what they did with this one, because they go back to the firehouse, there's characters from the original film that crop up, and it's such a good film. I say, if you like the Ghostbusters franchise at all, you'll absolutely love it. It's a really, really good film. I've talked about this many times before, about that feeling of feeling like a kid again, and how important I think that is to a person to feel that. And I did. From the start opening sequence, I sat in the cinema last night like a child, smiling from ear to ear. I loved it. It was absolutely brilliant. So a massive shout out to Jessica, one of my twins, for taking me. Thank you so much. It was brilliant. I had such a fantastic evening. I'm buzzing now. I'm all my Ghostbusters related things. I watch a lot of. I've said this before. Adam Savage tested, and he made his own proton pack before HasLabs bought out their version of it. He weathers his, because he's a prop maker. You know, worked in film most of his life, and Mythbusters and that kind of stuff. And a lot of the stuff he's got, he weathers. And I've done a few weathering things on some of the things I own. And it's kind of terrifying when you first start doing it, thinking, but this is something. This is something that I bought. This is a prop. This is a, you know, whether it be a Star Wars helmet, whether it be a, what, you know, I've got my Han Solo blaster, and that's a cherished item. And to do a sort of a little bit of weathering on that, you think, but what if I get it wrong? What if I muck it up? What if, you know? I think it's one thing that Adam Savage always refers to is nothing can be undone. Anything can be undone, not nothing can be undone. And there's nothing that can't be undone, was what I was going to say. So if you are using paints or pigments or washes or whatever it is to just add to dirty something up or make it look like scratches, you can always get a bit of white spirit. You can always get that back off if you make a mistake. And so I'm kind of going through. I've got my Lego Ghostbusters firehouse that Mississippi P bought me for a birthday years ago. And watching the film last night, it was that thing of, wow, that's all I kept thinking. I've got that. I've got that indoors. That's so cool, you know. And apparently you can go and visit it. I think the firehouse is still there. Obviously not in the Ghostbusters sort of livery and all done out, but you can go and see it. Anyway, enough of me wittering on about that. I just it's on my mind, and as you know, I always talk about what's on my mind. And obviously we're going to have a lot of rolling to do as well. Tell you what, this Kinsey, supplied, manufactured and shipped up to the colony by Chris S. Riley S. It's a really nice one actually. It works well. I love the sound. Any of the mods, I think it was it custom modding, or who was it? JHHG. I can't remember who did the first ones of these. Seed modding as well. The blower, you know, the fan sounds and stuff like when you get close to them. It's a thing now. You know, a lot of them have it, but it's very cool. And isn't it funny as well? I probably never would have, if I was on Earth, if I was on a regular map, I probably would have never gone with white and black or white and carbon fibre or as a colour scheme for a planter or a seeder, or I just wouldn't have done, you know. And but it works. It fits on here. It just, you know, I could go all colourful stuff and all sorts of, you know, all kind of whiz bangery, but yeah, just go with it. Just, you know, it's all good. Like I said, this one, I have to keep reiterating it, but this is about the tasks. It's not necessarily, not necessarily about the equipment. I'm finding it is because I'm trying to find stuff that fits, but it's, can we achieve those goals that have been set? You know, that's what I'm aiming towards. You know, those goals, and I said that right from the outset, because I normally set my goals. I normally decide when I do a Let's Play what I want my goals to be, what I want to achieve by the end of it. And those goals will often shift, the goalposts will move, I will decide as I'm going through, actually I might do this now or this now or this now. But because they're kind of set already, of course I can tweak them, of course I can change them, of course I can completely disregard them if I want to. But they are already there. That's what I'm aiming towards. So I've already got that end game is already set in place. I've just got to work out how we're going to get there. Right, I'm going to get this one finished. We're going to get through a fair bit of seed. I was talking about, when I was saying about feeding the animals and about mineral feed again, thank you to everyone that reached out about mineral feed. Yes, I mean, at the end of the day, I could just buy it. I could buy mineral feed. There are a few different productions that are available. Omatana, Zodelzoct, various different people that have got productions for making mineral feed. I think I used one on Edgewater, Saskatchewan, didn't I? When I was doing the fish pond sort of thing. I'm sure the fish food required some, so I was making some on that. So again, yeah, thank you to everyone who's been reaching out. It's incredibly kind of you, and I know people are offering advice and people are suggesting things, and I really do like it when people are into it. You know, when people are, you know, and I understand that passion. I get that, you know, people aren't being nasty. That people are, you know, they're genuinely suggesting stuff because they're into it as well. They might be playing along, they might just be watching thinking, you know, had you thought about this? What about this? Try that, you know. Houston, we have a problem. Mars attacks. we have an alien life form. That I can't explain it. I don't think there's any anywhere else. I haven't come across any on any other field. I've only just noticed it. I was going on thinking, oh, did I miss a bit when I was ploughing? I didn't. I've checked it all. I've gone over it with the seed. Obviously, all the different things we've done. We have a life form on Mars. Will this spread? Will it take over? Will it be like Last of Us? you know. That's really, really strange. I don't know where it's come from. How odd. Anyway, I can't get rid of it. I don't think it's a weed. I don't... Maybe we should have it sent back for analysis. Anyway, yeah, that's very strange. Right, next crop. Controversial. I'm going to put in some sugarcane. This may be one of the 6. Because getting 800,000 litres of sugarcane might not be too difficult, and it might not be a bad idea to get it underway now. And I haven't done sugarcane for a while. I said the same with cotton. I haven't really done cotton for a while, but then to be fair, cotton, I suppose we could store it as bales. It says 800,000 litres of the 6 crops you choose. But I could have 800,000 litres in stored cotton bales, couldn't I? Maybe. So, next field up then. Now, obviously, bearing in mind, we have got, let's go to our growth. Now we are growing. We have that in the ground. That is going to need, if we go back to here and put that on, it's going to need rolling. We did get our rollers. We had those shipped. They're sitting in the little airlock just over there. Not very big. Again, it's going to be one of those jobs that's going to take a while. So, next one, the beauty of this planter, like I said before, does everything. So, and including, as you've already seen, carrots and parsnip and red beet, sugarcane. I think it even does poplars. Hang on a second. As my granddad used to say, it wasn't the cough that carried him off, but the coffin they carried him off in. Oh dear. This is going to be a problem. We had 5,000 litres of seed in here, and sugar caning, it is, we are getting absolutely caned. We're going to need some... We're going to need some sugar cane seed. That was 5,000 litres just gone. That was horrifying. So whilst it is advantageous that we can plant with this, we can put sugarcane in the ground. As far as actual application goes, I mean, obviously these, that's a 2-row, that's a single row. It takes a long time for planting. But I suppose even those, it does get through a fair old bit. We're going to need to get some specialist seed. That's a worry, because that's going to start to grow now, isn't it? I can't believe we did all of that. And we had about 600 litres left. Oh, I've just done that, and that's taken 5,000 litres. Oh, maybe this was not a good idea doing sugarcane. Have we got anything available in that regard to that? Maybe. Still going to be expensive. I'm just thinking, price-wise, 380 for 2,000 litres. So 4,000 litres is going to be, well, not going to 800. 5,000 is going to be over £1,000. We've got these ones here. If we got these ones, do we have sugar beet pallet? 5,000 litres for £1,000. That's a similar price. So if you look at what I've just done, which was 5,000 litres, and that's not even one strip, that's £1,000. So we're looking at, that's going to be like a 20 grand field. Has that always been? I don't remember sugarcane being that expensive to plant. But then, like I said, I haven't done it for a long time. There's not. I'm trying to think of a cheaper way of doing it. 5,000 litres for 1,000 is a cheap way of doing it, but that's catastrophic what that's doing. I'm going to go and get some more. I'm going to come back to this one. I'm going to have to give that some thought. I might just have to bite the bullet and say, you know what, it's going to cost me 20 grand to plant it. But then I can't afford to do lots and lots of every time. We're going to need some more minerals, that's for certain. Should I do sunflower? I haven't done sunflower for a while. I think I'm going to do cotton, and we are going to need to get a cotton harvester up here to do that, of course, which is the other thing. We don't have a trailed cotton harvester, do we? I'm trying to think of, as far as cotton technology goes. I'm trying to remember what we've got. I don't think we have. We've got no, we haven't, have we? The harvesters are all big machines, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, obviously those are going to work really well. It's just the amount of equipment we're going to be bringing up, isn't it? Really? I don't know now. Yeah, I'll do the next one sunflower. Right, so I'm going to get some more seed. I'm going to have to give this sugarcane some thought. I'm sure it never used to be that expensive, did it? Back to our karmas. Let's go and get some more seed. I have taken the liberty of ordering some speciality seed. I'm gonna speak to our supplier to find out whether or not we can get bi-monthly deliveries rather than monthly. Because we're on 2-day months, potentially. It doesn't matter. I mean, monthly's fine. It just means waiting for the new seed to come. That's going to start to grow before the next lot arrives. But again, that's not really too much of a problem, is it? I can always leave that. If I just roll that a little bit, and then in November, when the seed comes to doing the sugarcane, yeah, we can crack on with that, yeah. Right, sunflower in this one. No particular reason why. I might put corn in one. Yeah, don't know really. I've got to get something in the ground. I'm also thinking, depending on what we're going to do about pig food, are we going to do the crops that are required for it? Are we going to buy pig food? I want to do the crops that are required. So putting some corn in the ground would be a good idea. Whether or not, like I said, to work on those sorts of crops first for the animals to make sure I've got them before we sort the animals out. Then we focus drilling down onto, pardon the pun, on what crops we actually want to do for storage. So I'm thinking now, the fuel processing plant, we can buy fuel. The fuel refinery there isn't technically required because our other refinery over there is producing diesel. So we don't actually need it realistically. Let's get around the edges of this one. So because the way we partitioned it up, I mean, it would have been, I suppose, easier if we'd have had 6 fields. Then we've got 6 crops that we're aiming for. That way we could roll through doing, even if we did crop rotations, and each time we did do a growth cycle, we could put a different crop in the fields. But what I mean is, but we've got 5 main fields. We have got that field over there behind the trees. I am looking at that as grass. We could put a crop in that one if we go back to our map. It's not as big as these. I just think area-wise, curious actually, but I wonder what that comes in at compared to maybe that one there. But say we've got 5. Oh, it doesn't matter. It really, I'm sure it'll all work out. It'll all work out fine in the end. So I'm thinking actually now whether or not to get one of the autonomous tractors over. Now I still have to drive that. I mean, I could set routes, I guess, and we could get them over to the field, but at some point I have to take control of the autonomous tractors to move them around. But jobs like this, I could set an autonomous tractor on doing, like I did with some of the fertilising and, you know, a couple of jobs like that. When I was doing the ploughing, one of them was doing some of the ploughing, wasn't it? But I still have to move them around. I mean, I could be using the AI system. I know they are autonomous, but obviously in game you've still got to drive them technically at some point. So what I might do is set a worker off on these fields and then go and get the broadcast, so at least I can get started on the grass as well. We need something quite hardy in the grass department. I'm still reeling over the sugarcane. I don't know. Isn't it weird? I'm trying to think the last time I did sugarcane. And I know the sugarcane pallets have always been a lot cheaper for what you get because it requires a lot to plant. And I guess because you kind of get into that habit of using the planters that are available for doing sugarcane, and you just refill them and go again, refill them and go again. I mean, that is a fairly big field as well to be doing a lot of sugarcane on. But I honestly, I just don't remember it taking so much. I'm trying to think if I've done sugarcane in FS22, you know. I'm sure someone will comment to say if I have. I'm trying to think of a map that I've used a sugarcane planter on. I did on Eureka, but that was FS19, wasn't it? When I was working for Goham Industries in their research and development establishment. But I'm sure that was FS19. Blimey, how have I got this far through 22 and not done sugarcane? I'm trying to think if I've even done a contract for it. Possibly not. It's always so much nicer when you're looking at the amount of seed it's using. And it's not just pouring out. Right, I'm going to go and grab one of the autonomous tractors to carry this on for the time being. Let's just switch that off a second. Disconnect that. I'll get that going. I'm going to go and grab the... We could probably do with, I want to say, a smaller tractor. Because we wouldn't use it all that often. For something like the broadcasting that we're going to do, what I'm very scared about, because what I didn't order either, and I didn't even think of, when we got the broadcast seeder for doing the grass seeding, it's only, I think it's 300 or 500 litres. I should have ordered a front seed tank. And I didn't. Very remiss. Oh, there's our rollers there. I know I put them somewhere. I was just thinking, with the various different bale and pallet storages, that's not something I've ever tried to store either. In the bale storages, I've never tried to put cotton bales in. There probably is one somewhere that takes it. Anyway, right, so this is our broadcaster. Just thinking of the amount of grass fields we've got to do, we're going backwards and forwards a lot. TR500. That would say to me 500 litres, but that's not necessarily true. Let's switch that to grass. But we'll do all the other crops as well. There we go, onto grass. Which will go to our other karma, which is holding our AstroTurf seed. No, I know AstroTurf is artificial. This is, you know, it's just the play on words. It's just a hardier version. I don't know if people buy turf. Normally you buy turf by the roll. We are actually seeding, so we are putting grass seed down. I know, it's just, you know. I'm preempting comments. I'm preempting comments. I have set the greenhouses to selling now as well, so those will be being shipped off to Earth. Here. Oh, 800 litres. Oh, that's way better. That's going to last me ages. Now I've got to be careful. I need to, I can't remember what the width is. So we've got a grass bit here. I've got to be careful I don't go over onto the field that we're going to be putting sugarcane on. How far does this spread? I can't remember. Is this 18 metres? I'm going to come over a little bit. So there we go. Look. Broadcasting. Yeah, we just have to come over a bit. It's actually not going down as fast as I thought it was going to, which is good. Oh, you know what I should do before I get carried over this? I need to sort out getting the worker working on that. Let's go and grab one of the old... Actually, can I do it from here? I don't do this very often, and I should do. Where are our... That's not attached to anything, is it? Mars colony. Set destination. I wonder if it's going to do it or not. Needs to be that field there, doesn't it? Let's go to the side there. Hasn't said it's stuck. I should see it come out of there. There we go, look! Hey! Hey! Autonomous! Get in, then we'll get it hooked up and we can get it working. It's the future, people, it's the future. However terrifying, tractors are going to take over the world. It is a bit worrying that all the software for the autonomous tractors is provided by Skynet. That is a bit... Yeah. Oh, it's nearly there. I don't use the AI thing anywhere near as much as I should do. For delivering and all sorts of stuff, I really should use it a lot more. It's an incredible feature. It was such a big part of FS22 and yeah, I don't use it. I mean, to be fair, we could do this grass seeding with it as well. It's impressive that this goes at the speed of the vehicle as well. Oh, I thought we'd be going backwards and forwards with seed like Billy-O. That's not the case. Let's catch that end bit. Right, I'm going to get this little side bit done. Go and make sure the autonomous tractor's hooked up and get that going. I want to do inside the animal pens. There we go. So again, at some point before we finish this episode, I want to get some of the inside the animal pens done, because I really want to get the grass done in there, and hopefully then the rolling will push the stones back in, because I'm not picking the stones out of there. I'm just not. It always starts out the same doing rock picking. It's a great idea, and when you've got different productions that require stone that can make you money like the ones we've got, and you know we've done all right so far with what we found on the map so far, and then it kind of loses its excitement. The same as snow. Snow on a map's always very cool when you first start out, and it's like, oh, I don't know now. I'm still very concerned about that weed. That's that's a bit concerning, isn't it? So where am I at? We're about to enter the Thunderdome, or the first of them anyway. We have got, so far, we've got our wheat in. Obviously there's the little bit of sugarcane, the debacle, that's fine. We've got our sunflower, we've got canola in that one, I'm putting corn in this one. I have decided to make that into a 6th field. We can convert that back to grass at some time if we want to. All of these now are grassed. As you can see, I've turned the grass on. Normally I have that switched off. I think most maps, generally it's switched off, but I've got that. If we go across one to our grass there, it's normally like that, but just so you can see. So I've done all the grass fields that we'd pre-ploughed. Now I'm going to go into the domes and do those. And then this one here, because if I'm going to do separate crops for pigs, we are going to need a root crop. So either potato, sugar beet, carrot, parsnip, one of those. I might just put potato in it. But then to be fair, I haven't done red beet yet, have I? We've done carrots and we've done parsnips on Alma. I might put red beet in that. Just for, like I say, a different crop. And if we can store some stuff away for animal feed, all I need to do is make sure that I rear the required amount of animals. I haven't got to keep them for years and years and years. It just says you need to rear that amount. So we might get away with that. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to go inside, where I did all the ploughing inside the domes, because I wanted to have like grass in here, proper grass rather than just the flat texture. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do this over the top of, there you go, our ploughing. The stones are still there, but then when we come to roll, because I think they're only small stones. If they're not, well then we'll have some large stones in amongst our grass. It's not, like I say, I'm not too bothered about that. If we can roll these in, we will. So I want to get these done. I want to get that red beet in, because we can do red beet with the plant that we've got. It will allow us to. Obviously, we're not ridging or doing anything like that. I could just put potatoes in. We could, you know, and with the planter, we could put sugar beet in anyway. So any one of those will do as a root crop for the pigs. But I just want to make sure the grassing is done first. Then, like I say, if we find that when we come to cut all this grass, if we're going to make hay, we're going to make silage, what we're going to do for the sheep and for the cows, if I haven't got enough grass fields, then that back field around the side of the forest there, we can always put that back. We can always make that back into a grass field, or we could plough some more out, or, you know, I'm just thinking about our forestry situation, depending on how many trees we manage to get put down and how much space they take up, whether or not we could grass in between, a bit of agroforestry. Again, I'm not sure at the moment, so I just want to get all these done. And what we should be looking at now, if we just turn that off, there we go. So inside our dome now, we've got our grass going in, so those three need to be done. And then, yeah, what we'll do is we'll either October 2 or November. I'm thinking November. If we stick to our monthly deliveries, I've also got to decide if there's anything else I want delivered. We need some attachments for the telehandler, that we need to have them done sort of sooner rather than later, or get the order in so that when November comes, we'll have the next stuff will have been delivered by shuttle. We do have this area here that we can plough if we want to. Trees maybe on there. When I was putting the trees in earlier, the clip you saw, I was putting them in round up here. I have put some in on the sort of edging, which I might still do that, where you've got some sort of these layers, little levels. I might do that as well. Again, I'm not sure at the moment. At least we're getting our first crop in, so of whatever it is we end up with. And apart from the sugarcane, everything else is now in the ground. Our grass is done. I put red beet in that top field. Well, we can have a look at the map, can't we? I've driven along here with the rollers. The only downside to these rollers is you can't lift them. So if you do go across a field, it will roll. So you just have to be careful. What I've also done is, I limed that because that's going to be a crop field. And I had some lime left over, so I came through and limed a few of these fields as we go through. If I take the line rolling off, you'll see. So that's now been limed, and a couple of these have been, and I ran out of lime just here. I thought, I'm not going to go and get another load just for the few bits that are left. I'm not going to lime inside these either, so that's left as it is. Now if we go up to, actually I need to put that back on, and then we go across to growth. They're growing, there we go. So as we said, our wheat, our sunflower, canola, corn, red beet, and our grass is now all in. Sugarcane, I'll worry about later. What I am going to do is I'm going to do a single roller inside, but I want to go there first, simply because I want to make sure, just see if it will roll the stones under. I know it does small stones. And the funny thing is, when I sort of looked at getting these, I thought, well, that's 4 of them. I'm sure they're 4 metres each. Not 4 of them, 3 of them at 4 metres each. So we're looking at 12 metres. But now looking at the fields as well, it's a drop in the ocean. And I suppose that the problem I've got is because I've created all the fields or extended them. I've then gone through the step for all of them of the fertilising and the liming and then the seeding, and then, you know, normally you would come onto a map, you might have fields that are in different stages, you might have some fields you own, you might have different crops in each one. Each crop would then be ready to harvest at a different time. You'll see now if I drive straight across this, these will roll these. So you can see the rolling, but obviously because it's got a lime on there, that's going to be a little bit tricky to deal with. So what I want to do in here, if I disconnect the rear one, so this front one, I can open the wings on this. It that way, and there we go, that one and that one. I can open the wings up and I can attach the other ones on. But we are going to have to look at a bigger roller at some point. But again, when we get around to harvesting, because we've got different crop types in, they take different amounts of time to grow, we won't be harvesting and prepping all the fields at once. We'll get a cycle, we will get into a cycle of this field, that field, and we won't have to do all the grass fields again. The grass fields will just be a case of once they are mowed, harvested, however you want to refer to it, it will just be in the case of refertilising. I don't very often re-lime my fields, my grass fields. So what we should get now is, there we go, we should push the stones. Is it pushing them back under? I don't think it is, is it? Or just on the edge of where that was? No, it's not. Oh. So you don't turn that on, you don't lower it down, we just roll. Actually, I might be able to get away with the larger ones in here. It seems, hang on, it is doing it in places. Yeah, the stones are going under. Actually, I might be able to get the other ones in here as well. As you can imagine, we have got, well, I've said that every single step of the way, we've got quite a job to get done now. I can't tell if these are going or not. Yeah, they are. I think what I'll do is I'll just have the other two on for the larger areas. Any gaps I've got that are too narrow for all three of these rollers, I will. And there's another reason for getting the smaller rollers as opposed to getting one big roller, is for doing the smaller stuff you're going to need smaller rollers. But am I going to roll in here again in the grass areas in the animal pens? No, I'm not going to. I need to roll in here again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hook up to the larger rollers, or the other rollers to make it a larger roller. And I'm just have to get on with it, I guess. So let's do that and that. There we go. Let's crack on. And so, with all that done, that was my task for this episode, was to make sure I got the sowing, seeding, planting done. There we go, it is. Getting rid of the stones. Brilliant stuff. Rolling will now commence, and I need to do a second fertilising pass on all the grass fields. But other than that, it'll be a case of letting them grow. Am I going to skip ahead? Probably. I haven't got any other jobs that need doing at the moment. I could probably go out and do another roll round of tree planting. Like I said, maybe every month go out and do another 948 trees and get closer and closer to that target. So I'm not going to say when I'm not sure when I'm going to see you next. We need crops grown so we can feed our animals, and what I would normally do is rely on contracts, because we've got no contracts on here. So I'd normally rely on like harvesting contracts to pick things up, but that's not going to be the case. So I will see you when I see you, whenever that may end up being. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.